Stafford's Lions going up against Cutler's Bears. With that, let's get out to Soldier Field. Standing by for the call, here are Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
Thank you very much, Larry. We are here on a beautiful afternoon for football. Today, it's week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here between the Detroit Lions and the Chicago Bears. First carry for Carlos Hyde. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. So the Lions go backwards there, and unfortunately that's something they saw a lot in 2015. They had the fewest rushing yards of any team in the NFL.
It's one of those dubious titles that no one really wants to claim. Even teams who say, well, worry about running it because we throw it all the time. Being able to run it when you want to is a key to success in the NFL, and Detroit struggled doing that.
So now 11 yards to go for this offensive unit. It's second down. Here's Stafford now on second down. It's complete to Golden Tate. And he's brought down after a good gain. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
As a former defender, Brandon, the goal was always to tackle the receiver immediately after the catch. When you missed and gave up additional yardage, you didn't make anyone on your team happy. That's why I'm sitting here next to you.
So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve.
Big 20.
First down, a run with Hyde. Give him 18 on that one. And the Lions are going to have a first.
And that's how you get started and open up a game. Really well-blocked play. Picked up a nice chunk of yardage. If you're the offensive line, that's exactly what you've talked about all week long in your meetings. Establish a line of scrimmage and take control. And they gave their running back plenty of room to rumble.
They run again with Hyde on first. And he'll take this one down to the 36. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And on this offensive unit, one guy that's proven himself early in the NFL is Eric Ebron.
A very reliable target for a quarterback. They always love tight ends because they're right in their sight lines. If you get it to this guy, though, he can take it the distance.
In motion, Hill. To throw on second down is Stafford. And this one's incomplete. The starting 11 defensively for the Bears.
Kyle Fuller is one of those new breed complete defensive backs. Eager to tackle, but a better cover man.
So third down now. They need the 27-yard line for a first. Throwing on third down, Stafford. They complete it to Hill. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that wasn't the first option.
No, it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag. Completed it very well.
And he motions the wide receiver. On first down, Stafford here. That is caught at the 7. Well, we saw the practice film this week. They wanted to focus on these intermediate passing plays, and it paid off there.
And they took that focus not just to the practice field, but in the film room to show the guys exactly what they wanted, what types of looks they should expect to get, and how they would beat those coverages each and every time, and it paid off on that play.
They'll run high. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Give him 3 on the gain there. 2nd and goal.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
So they try again with Hyde. Call it a gain of 2 as they're knocking on the door now. 3rd and goal.
Brandon, now we find out what their definition of commitment is. They've run it on the first 2 plays. Do they come back and do it again? They're that much closer to getting into the end zone.
Yeah, inching closer and really knocking on the door now. This opening drive has taken them to the 2, but now they come up on a 3rd and goal. Now they'll put a receiver in motion left. Big play here. 3rd down and goal from the 2. And he'll get nothing out of that one. Only a yard that time, so now a decision to be made here on 4th and goal.
Oh, Brandon, that was a big play by the defense to keep him at the end zone on 3rd down. So there's an early decision to be made here, isn't there? I know that 3 is awfully tempting, but I'd pull on my big boy pants right now, and I'd go for it.
And that field goal caps an 11-play drive.
That's a lot of offense to run to only get 3 points, but they'll take them. Anytime you can put anything on the board, you run to your sideline somewhat happy.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down. And with this offense, one guy to key in on defensively is Kevin White.
Had to battle injuries at the start of his career, but boy, he's ready to fulfill his promise. An absolute beast downfield.
2nd and 10 now. It's Cutler. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. And now the Lions' defensive starters.
DeAndre Levy is one of those linebackers who makes everyone around him better when he's on the field.
A dime look defensively for the Lions on 3rd. On 3rd down, Cutler. And Jeffrey's got it. 13 yards that time and a 1st.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
This is Langford. And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. So Langford to carry there. 4th-round pick last year with Forte vacating to New York. A lot of the spotlight on Langford.
A lot of running backs have possibilities in Chicago. If he can emerge and eat up carries, I think he'll produce in a big way.
On 2nd down, Langford. It'll be a gain of 2 on the play, but they'll remain a few inches short here with 3rd down looming.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
Cutler now to throw on 3rd down. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move them all over the place to try and find good matchups. And they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point.
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe. Tough day. Tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Second down following the run. Again, we'll see the pistol here. Here with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, as the Lions are in possession of the football here to begin quarter number 2. They face a 2nd and 7 to start things out. Here's Stafford now on second down. He's going to sling this deep downfield. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now third down.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
Third down here for the offense after the incomplete pass. They'll come out in the pistol. From the gun on third down, Stafford. It's caught. Jones. And he's brought down after a good gain. Give him 30 yards there.
Usually hitting a deep post pattern, as we just saw there, for a big gainer, that's tough to do because you usually have a safety or two in the middle of the field. But if you hit enough crossers and underneath routes and curls, you start to get those guys creeping up wanting to make plays on the football. It's the equivalent of a changeup in baseball. You show your other stuff, throw the changeup, and on that play it worked for big yardage.
And now a first down following that long gain. Stafford on first down. And Jones has it over the middle. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here, as it looks like we've got a Lion that's shaken up. We'll check on his status when we get back. Second down now after the pass completion. They come up in an offset eye. On second down, Hyde. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a third down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Now a run with Hyde. Give him 8 yards on the play, and they pick up the first.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group. They come out here in the eye. Attempt carry for Hyde. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
No, that wasn't an explosive run. That wasn't one that took it all the way to the house. But, boy, for a team that's had trouble running it the entire game, that's the kind of run they need, hopefully, to get themselves kick-started.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. And the wideout in motion. They'll try the air now with Stafford. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch.
Let's give some credit to the defensive guys on that play. Able to bat that one away. Sure looked like they were trying to hit the corner route.
And the 8th play on this drive coming up. And the defense definitely showing blitz here. On 2nd and 10, Stafford can't find anyone open. Looking for Tate. and it's intercepted. It's Tracy Porter with a pick. And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. And last time out, they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up, but you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over,
You didn't turn it over, right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away, and they're set to go on the field as opposed to sudden change after a turnover, and wow, now we got to go out there and stop people. So, yeah, there's always something positive to be gained from it. We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First-level defensive line, second-level linebackers, third-level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first-level run, and it was stopped by a second-level player.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
Second down and 4. Another pistol look here. To throw on second down is Stafford. Complete to right. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down.
That coach is always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. And there's a flag on the field. Following the penalty, it's Hyde. Give him 2 yards on that one. Second and goal now.
Well, not a huge gain there as we head towards the 2-minute warning. It'll be interesting to me to see what they decide to do after the timeout.
And it looks like this will likely be the last play before we hit the 2-minute warning.
Let's see if they can sneak one more good play in before the 2-minute signal.
They run it again with Hyde. And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. 1:59 to go in the first half. We're back to Soldier Field following this short break. The line of scrimmage is the 2 here on 3rd and goal. An encroachment penalty here, maybe just a mental lapse, partner.
Sometimes you have to just watch the football. Make sure it's snapped before you're jumping.
1:59 to go in the first half. We're back to Soldier Field following this short break. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Carlos Hyde, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Lions add on to their lead. And his kick is good. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. That's fielded in the end zone. And not a particularly good return here as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
So the incomplete pass brings up second down. Second and 10. It's Cutler again. Jeffrey with a catch left side. He's going to be marked down deep in Detroit territory. Cutler to Jeffrey on the hook up there. And even 80 yards. And now inside the red zone, the offense will operate. They'll run here with Langford. And he's going to bull his way down. And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. They'll look to run with Langford. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. Jeremy Langford with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Bears draw a bit closer. The Bears send the kicking team out there, and they will send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. They go play action here on first down. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And this is caught at the 20. And he takes this thing down deep into Chicago territory. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him. And he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
Now Hyde running right. And he'll get this down only to the 18. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
They'll fake it. Now Stafford. And that'll be incomplete.
Timing's crucial in any route thrown, but when you throw an out, so many things are going through the mind of the receiver. Catching the ball, timing it up with the quarterback. Are my feet going to get down in bounds? On that play, all those things going through his head might have caused him to drop it.
Throwing on third down, Stafford. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Stephen Hill, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Lions are able to grow their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the 2nd quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the 2nd half.
After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these 2 teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on.
Now Cutler in trouble, and into the end zone. A scoop and score on the fumble return for the Detroit touchdown. And give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
That's fielded in the end zone. The Bears offense now heading back out onto the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
They'll throw on first down with Cutler. He's going to float this one. Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Stafford now to throw. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left.
There's so much precision in an offense, especially when you're throwing the ball. And in an out route, plenty of it. How about the quarterback hitting his back foot, ball's out of his hands, receiver making his break, making his cut. He's got to time up perfectly. Not always easy to do.
Just let him a little too much.
Yeah, I remember back in the good old days, I was talking to a quarterback, and he said everything they did was on the count system. So when he took a snap, he counted in his head for certain routes, different time frames for each one, and he knew if the ball wasn't out of his hand at that point, he'd better eat it because the play was dead.
So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And this will be a touchback. Last year would have come out to the 20. This year they'll move it out to the 25-yard line. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. They keep it on the ground with Langford. And he's brought down. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him. Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
They run with Langford. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
We talk all the time about how important it is to have leverage in blocking. It's also a big part of policing up gaps. Did you move someone out of the A gap? Did you move them out of the B gap in order to create space for your guy to run? In this case, all those gaps were shut down.
Yeah, the movement was defensive, and they got him for a loss. Here's Cutler. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
To throw, Cutler. He's going to air one out. And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
The lone setback is Langford. 2nd and 10. Now Cutler in trouble. He lost the football. They'll call it luck or skill, whatever the case is. They're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. But the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you retain possession, that's all you're looking for.
Now Cutler, and he will find his big tight end over the middle. A big gain of 31 on third down.
Wow, I can't help it. When I see Jay Cutler throw the football and throw one like that with a big completion, I can't help but be impressed.
His arm strength, such an asset. Huh?
It really is, because it gets him in trouble sometimes, but I think it gets him out of trouble more often than that.
10th carry now for Jeremy Langford. And able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Shift together here from the D-line. Langford again. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. Jeremy Langford with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Bears get a bit closer. So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. And the D looking like they may blitz. They'll try to fire up the running game with Hyde. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the third quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
Stafford on third down. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down. Here's Sam Martin now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. The Bears offense now getting ready to take over. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn into a play action, and throw one deep.
And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Now Cutler to throw on 2nd down. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. A great read, and it's picked off. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. So out now come the Lions. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
And they'll start this drive with very good field position. Another tote for the afternoon workhorse. It's high. Penalty marker is down here. And the dreaded face mask penalty, that's going to cost him 15 yards.
And it's such a dangerous play. Body going one way, and then your head gets yanked back the other. 15 yards is the right call.
And now the offense operates in the red zone. They come out here in the eye. Here's Hyde. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. Ebron caught left side. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. It'll be a gain of 4. And that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. Now it's Stafford. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Now it's Matt Prater on for the Lion field goal try. Oh, he left this one out to the right. That's a bad miss. No good. And this score will stay right where it is. So a bullet dodge there defensively. They surrender excellent field position on the kick return, but it winds up not costing them a thing.
And that's a tough sequence of events from an offensive perspective. The inability to get first downs leads to the field goal try. And the inability to cash that in leads to nothing on the scoreboard.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, they held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop a jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
On 2nd down, Cutler. They go screenplay to Langford. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Now, that screen there on 2nd down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying it is one thing. We can second-guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize it is broken down, just throw it.
He's got him in. Complete. Back now at Soldier Field. It's Bears football, but they trail on the scoreboard as we get set to bring you the 4th quarter. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. On 1st down, it's Cutler. Jeffrey with a catch left side. A gain of 4 on the play, and that'll make this a 2nd down. Six yards to go here on 2nd down. Cutler to throw again. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Tahir Whitehead. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. And they have to feel like they missed on an opportunity for points last time when they couldn't connect on that short field goal try.
And no doubt about it, because they were counting on those points. In today's NFL, let's face it, that's really a chip shot, right?
That's anything inside 40.
Yeah, they're counting on that going through the post. But we've seen it happen to teams before. Some of the best kickers in the world can miss kicks like that. Can they come back now and redeem themselves?
They come up in an offset eye. On 2nd and 10, Stafford. Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but if the other team doesn't get it, That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
So a fumble on second down. They're able to maintain possession. Brings up third. In motion, Hill. Third and long. It's Stafford. And he is out of bounds on the other side of midfield. And give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish, because strategy would tell you run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it, and it took the ball off course.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's sensed being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Back to the air. Stafford on second down. Caught right side. Tate. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. And the offense moving quickly to the line. And defensively, they just don't seem to have much of an answer for this passing game.
Not at all. Look at the confidence that's exhibited here. With that type of a lead.
Touchdown, Detroit. Stephen Hill, his second touchdown of the game, his third on the year. And the Lions add on to their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors. But that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. That'll be taken in the end zone. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And the interception last time on the opponent's side of the field, certainly not what they wanted.
Put it mildly, that is so frustrating because that signifies there's a drive going on.
And now here is another interception. Picked off by Tavon Wilson. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They've got to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
Here's Stafford now on second down. And he rifles one incomplete. Throwing on third down, Stafford. He finds his target, Fuller. And he's brought down after a good gain. They convert on third with a gain of 22.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here, down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or a takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them. Good, solid, strong run that not only gets them a nice chunk of yardage, but takes the clock under 4 minutes. And now they're going to play situational football. How many timeouts does the opposition have left? How many runs do they need to call to make sure that they bleed out those timeouts? But even more importantly, mentally right now, they hold the advantage. They probably have them at the verge of breaking. And what they want to do is finish them off.
Halfback sent in motion. From the red zone now, Stafford. Fuller brings it in over the middle. It's a gain of 5, and it's a second down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
On second down, here's Stafford. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Eddie Goldman continuing to fight downfield. The big tackle gets him for a loss of 11. from the gun on third down. Stafford. And he dropped it. Now it was tipped. Altered the ball a little bit, but he dropped it. And now fourth down.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Prater now will send it away following the made field goal. That's fielded in the end zone. And he probably should have stayed in the end zone as he'll muster a return up to only the 14-yard line. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And last time, one-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. On 1st and 10, it's Cutler. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Tahir Whitehead. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. So here come the Lions now. They take over with great field position. They've got the big lead. Most would say they should kneel it, but the key word there is should. You never know here.
You never know. That's the exact play that should happen. But some people like stats. You know, some people like to put more things up on the board, but kneel down is usually the right play here.
We'll see what they do in this situation. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Yeah, that wasn't a big run, just a short one there. But guess what? Sometimes you treat it like boxing. You throw that jab out there, and you throw it again, you throw it again, then you come with a big punch later. Maybe they're just trying to set them up.
They run high and brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal. Hyde, the lone man in the backfield. Looking for Tate, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the rookie Deion Bush. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here as it looks like we've got a Lion that's shaken up. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Here's Langford. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. Now Cutler to throw on 2nd down. It's brought in by Kevin White. And he's brought down. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. And a nice pitch and catch to pick up the reception against man coverage.
Both of them read how much yardage they needed, figured what they had to do, and were able to beat the man coverage for the completion.
It's grabbed over the middle by White. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that
one. One last shot for Cutler, and that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. All right, Charles, so you win the game. Not only do you get the W in the left-hand column, you get some momentum for the coming week.
Now when you go into the week and you're telling the guys what mistakes have to be corrected, what we have to do to win going forward, you have their full attention. They're excited, they're happy, and they know if they can build that momentum, they can ultimately achieve all their goals.
So for the Lions, that early momentum continues here as they move to 4-0. And they'll return home next week to take on the Philadelphia Eagles. Meanwhile, for Chicago, the defeat is their first of the year as they drop to 3-1. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Indianapolis to take on the Colts.